So question C is a three-part question. So let's talk about it quickly. This is a growth and decay question. So they're talking about the radioactive isotope carbon-14, and they're talking about the amount that is in kangaroo bone being governed by this equation. Here, C of T is equal to A E K T. Okay, where A and K are constants, T is the number of years since the kangaroo died. So let's get started. Part I just wants us to show that C of T satisfies the fact that the rate of decay is just a function of how much of the isotope is left. Okay, so what we can do is we can take the original equations, C of T is equal to A E K T, and what we can do is we can differentiate it to get dc dt. Okay, so if we differentiate this, it's an exponential, so we take what's in the power, differentiate it, and times it by the whole lot. So kt, we differentiate it in terms of t, we just get k, so we get k times everything we had before, A E K T. Now what we can do is we can substitute in C of T for this bit here. So A E K T is just C of T. So we get dc dt is equal to kc, which as the question wanted. All right, so part I is really easy, and that should really be give me marks. Okay, now for part II, they've given us some specific numbers to fill in our equation and try and work out what K and A are. Okay, so it's saying that at T equals 5,730 years, half of the original amount is there. So we can say that C is equal to A on 2, A being the initial amount divided by 2. All right, and it says show that the value of K correct to two significant figures is this number here, negative 0.003012. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to substitute these values into our original formula for C. Okay, so A on 2 should be equal to A, the initial amount, times E to the KT. And T is 5,730. Okay, so we've got a formula. We do have two unknowns, but I can tell you now these are just going to cancel, right, because they're multiplied on both sides. So if we divide both sides by A, we just get a half is equal to E to the K times 5,730. Now if we take the logs of both sides, and go log, I'm just going to use the natural log, like that, the exponential is going to disappear. So we have log of a half is equal to K times 5,730, and therefore we know K is equal to log, again, of a half divided by 5,730. So now we can just chuck that into our calculator, and we get negative 0.0001209, and it just sort of trails on. So the question said it only wants it to two significant figures. So we go to the first significant figure, which is going to be 1 in this case, and the next one's 2, round 0 up, and you just get 2 again. So we really should take sig figs there. 2 sig figs. The other thing we should write is also just put K there, and then also underline your answer. So that's part II. Now let's go have a look at part III. So part III says that there's now 90% of the original amount left. Find the number of years since the kangaroo died. So it's a very similar sort of question to what we just did, but we already know what K is, so we're going to have to work out what the time is. All right, so let's get started on that. So we're trying to say what is T when the amount left is 90% of the original amount, like that. Okay, so let's use our formula. Write C, which is 0.9 times A in this scenario. A e to the K, I'm going to leave it as k just for the moment for ease, and we're trying to find t. Okay. Again, the a's cancel. We get 0.9 is equal to e to the kt. You take logs of both sides. You get log of 0.9 is equal to kt. The logs cancel the exponential. And then we just want t. So t is going to be equal to log 0.9 divided by k. And we can just substitute that in from before, which was negative 0.00012. Now I put that into my calculator and I get 878.0042, so on. Now we got to remember that the question asked for it in two significant figures. So two significant figures is just the first two. We're going to round up the 7 to an 8. So we get 880, and it was years. Now the only thing to remember here is that you might get a slightly different answer if you use the exact value for k, because we just only found it to two significant figures. You could have put the exact value from your calculator in here, and you would get a more accurate answer, but within an exam they would be perfectly fine with you doing this. All right.
Snack is an online platform to instantly create and share videos just like this one. To watch more or try a hand at making your own, head over to snackapp.io.